Hey guys, FanTrucks back here for another video. Real fast guys, I am using New York Times to make this video. This is the website I'm using, New York Times. Anyway though, let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting off right away, right now we have a 26% chance to make the playoffs. But today what I want to talk about is all the games that matter for us this week and how they can help us get to the playoffs even sooner. Well, not sooner, but a better chance to make the playoffs, right? Who do we need to win? Who do we need to lose? Because, yes, we do need to win. Let's be honest. If we win, we're at 30% chance to make the playoffs. If we lose, we're at 17. So, you know, it's a plus 4% if we win. It's a minus, 9% if we lose. So there's a little bit of a chance here, you know, we could put ourselves in a hole. Now again, we do control our own destiny. Pretty much it's 100% win out and you're 100% going to make the playoffs. Also win the division, also win the conference. But obviously, that's not logical. We're going to lose some games. So as long as we start off this week, things will start to really go good for us. So starting off right away, we have a less than 1% chance right now to get a bye week. And I literally just touched this and it automatically changed the percentage chance of us making the playoffs. This is how finicky things can get when it comes to simulations, is that every time I go ahead and switch this, it says more simulations. This will change because simulations are crazy in, you know, any NFL thing. I'm actually going to go ahead and real fast here. As I said, I am using New York Times. I get that question a lot. So I want to make sure I make it clear. New York Times. Alright, anyway, so let's go back down to 26%. There we go. So right now, 25%, whatever. We have a 10% chance to win our division, 15% chance of a wild card, and a 75% chance of being out, with a less than 1% chance of getting a bye week, which is winning the conference. Now, if we win this week, like I said before, we go up to 30%. If we lose, we go down to 17%. So let's say we win this week, right? Let's say we win today. I will be live during this game today at 1 p.m. Keep that in mind. Make sure to stop by and check it out. So, who else do we need to lose this week? Well, divisional rivals always are the teams we need to lose. But as you can see, it doesn't really impact too much. So if the Ravens win, it's not like this is going to be detrimental. When the long term it will be, for the short term, it will not be as much. So if the Titans win, we have a 32% chance to make the playoffs. If the Ravens win, we have a 30% chance to make the playoffs. Currently, the Ravens are 1.5 games above us if they win, because obviously they beat us head-to-head, and then obviously they would have a 1-game win, you know, record-wise over us. So let's say the Titans win. Well, now we sit at a 35% chance to make the playoffs off of only 2 games. Okay, so these 2 games alone, we already go up to a 35% chance to make the playoffs. We also increase that 1% bye week, or less than 1% bye week, to a solid 1% conference chance of winning the conference. A 16% chance to host a wild card, which again, win the division. A 17% chance to get, you know, a playoff spot. And that is just simply by 2 single wins, Titans and Bengals this week, that will happen. Now, next game that matters is the Buffalo Bills game. And if the Giants do beat the Buffalo Bills, that we go up to 36% just off of that simple fact. But we're going to go up here to the Browns game, because obviously, yes, the Browns do go ahead and play the 49ers. No, Deshaun Watson will not be playing. He has a torn rotator cuff. He'll probably be out for a couple weeks. So they might lose a couple games because they're going to have no Deshaun Watson, no, you know, Nick Chubb. They're going to have, you know, obviously very tough opponents. And, you know, I will say overall wise, you know, obviously they're a divisional opponent, but I never want to see someone injured or a team go through injuries. Trust me, we've gone through our own injuries. So I do hope for a speedy recovery for him for that said reason. I don't like him as a person. As a player, it is what it is. And, you know, obviously, again, it's injury. It sucks. It's part of football. But if they win, the 49ers win, 35% chance. P.J. Walker, by the way, is starting for the Browns. They're not going with the draft pick anymore after the Ravens destroyed them. So, Browns, 34% if they win. So, as long as the 49ers win, we stick back at our 35, 36% chance to make the playoffs. I say that because every time a simulation goes through, you already know it's janky. Let's go ahead and go down here, though. If the Panthers win, we go up another percentage point. Like, this is crazy to say this, but every little game does matter for us in the end. Let's say the Cowboys win, okay? Now the Cowboys beat the Chargers. Now we're going up, and these simulations are so weird. But let's say, in theory, this should be 36%, by the way. This should be 36%. It's just every time you touch anything, simulations go through, and it kind of messes up everything. Alright, so let's go with... Alright, I think the Dolphins are going to win. I don't think that's going to be a question. Now, for the Colts, the Jags, if the Jags win and beat the Colts, this is huge here. First off, because of the fact that we want the Jags to win the division, right? Now, with Colts could be a wild card team. So every single time they lose, that helps us out to benefit us, because now the Colts have a chance to, you know, obviously get out of the wild card race, and in case something bad happens and we need to be a wild card team, that helps us out. Same thing with the Saints beating the Texans. If the Saints beat the Texans, that helps us out because now they knock off, you know, the wild card teams. Alright, Patriots, Raiders. Patriots, we need the Patriots to win. Again, just wild card purposes. Let's go with this game does not matter. Any NFC game does not matter. The Eagles need a win, though. This game's going to matter drastically. This game's going to matter so much. And, you know, I don't think the Giants are going to beat the Bills. It is Sunday Night Football. Crazier things have happened. The Jets beat the Bills on Sunday Night Football. That is definitely a true case scenario that, you know, they could beat them. And if the Bills lose to the Giants this week, this percentage thing is so messed up, but realistically speaking, we should be sitting at around 37% chance to make the playoffs after this said week, okay? Obviously, it says 35% chance, but it's because all the simulations, everything messes up whenever you touch it, but it would sit at a solid, see now it says 36%. It would sit at a 37% chance to make the playoffs after this week if these scenarios happen. Again, the Titans beat the Ravens. We beat the Seahawks. The 49ers beat the Browns. The Dolphins beat the Panthers. Jags beat the Colts. Patriots beat the Raiders. Eagles beat the Jets. Giants beat the Bills. Cowboys beat the Chargers. Now, if the Bills do win, it does go down. It actually goes up somehow. It goes up. Here's what I'll say. It goes up in the aspect, I feel like, of there's less of a chance now that the Bills are going to be a wild card team. They're most likely going to be a divisional team instead of a wild card team. Now, again, if the Panthers beat the Dolphins, that should increase it a lot, and it doesn't because it makes the Panthers a wild card team. All right, so let's go back up to this. And now we're sitting at around 34% chance. So like I said before, it's around a 37% chance. As long as these case scenarios happen, we're sitting at a 37% chance to make the playoffs after this given week. Which, that's not bad. That's really, really not bad. Again, you know, obviously the following week will help us out drastically or hurt us drastically, dependingly. But, you know, week 7, we have our bye week, right? So, it's not even like we're playing week 7 at all. But, like, the Saints beat the Jaguars. Let's say the Colts beat the Browns. You know, the Bears beat the Raiders. Let's say the Lions beat the Ravens, right? Rams beat the Steelers. We kind of need the Chiefs to win so that they can... Well, we have less of a chance to get our conference if the Chiefs win. But we don't want the Chargers to be a wild card team. Eagles win. Let's say that these games do not matter at the end of the day. Broncos win. Packers win. Let's say Patriots do win. Let's say... Actually, I think Bills win. And actually better for the Bills. Could give them the division at this point and knock off... see, the problem is you can't really knock off the Dolphins. But the thing is, you're not going to knock off the Bills and Dolphins anyway. Right? So if everything works out, we're sitting at almost a 40% chance to make the playoffs next week, even though we have a bye week. So, again, main thing to talk about here, and again, you know, this percentage point's kind of like messed up here, but the main thing to talk about is this game right here. We need the Ravens to lose this week, okay? We need to win this week. We need the 49ers to win. We need this game. Realistically speaking, we need the Panthers. We like for the Panthers to win. It does not matter at the end of the day. It does matter for long term for wild card, but at the end of the day, you know, if the Panthers do go ahead and win, this would be a humongous win for us, because this would just knock the Dolphins even lower in the wild card, you know, scenario that would help us out. The Colts Jags, we need the Jags to win. We need the Colts to be out of the wild card spot just in case, right? This is just in case scenario. We need the Saints to beat the Texans. We need the Patriots to beat the Raiders. This team doesn't really matter actually, because both these teams do suck. But again, right now they suck, but in the future they might rally off some wins and that could hurt us, right? So Eagles need to beat the Jets. This game doesn't matter. This game, if the Giants beat the Bills, it would help. It's going to help us out to increase our odds of getting the conference. But at the end of the day, this in the long term, if we don't qualify for the conference, this game does not matter. And then Cowboys beat the Chargers to knock them out of the wild card and keep this wild card down. The best chance we have of making the playoffs is having every single team who is a wild card team, like every divisional team, they need to win the division, right? We need them to win. Every wild card team, we need them to lose. Because even if, let's say hypothetically speaking, we win our division, right? It's nice to have the fact that going into week 16, 17, 18, if all the wild card teams have, let's say, 4 or 5 losses, then we are sitting here with 3 losses, right? We at least have a better chance to make the playoffs then, right? We have a better chance to make the playoffs because of the fact that, you know, everyone else has a lot of losses too. So even if we lose a couple games, we can still at least make the playoffs. So that's kind of what we're looking like moving forward, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.